Welcome everybody to SEMA 2023. We are out here in Las Vegas, Nevada here at the SEMA Show. If you're unfamiliar with what the SEMA Show is, it is full of cool cars, builds, and vendors from all over the world. Starting off with this thing outside of West Hall. This is a twin turbocharged Corvette C8 wide body. Rohana wheels, carbon fiber, everything. This thing is nice. Let's take a look at some other builds. Here's Sin. Everybody say hi to Sin.
What's up, guys?
Out here outside of West Hall is also where you'll find a lot of the off-road builds, but you'll also find some really trick builds like these two over here. Starting with this thing, it's got two engines in the back. You see them connected all through here. Absolutely insane to see two V8 engines on a truck. I believe this is a Ford F-Series. It is. And then right next to it is this thing on bags, on the ground, and then out back a Cummins. You can see the smokestack with the barbed wire on it and all the custom metalwork back here. And then look at the wheel covers on the back too. This is the kind of stuff that you see, and we haven't even made it inside Central Hall yet. So the last build I want to feature out here is the Ultra X5, a combination of ECS tuning, Liqui-Moly, and all of these sponsors right here. This thing is sitting on massive, I think they're 40-inch boggers. And then my favorite thing is all of the suspension components from Bilstein. Look at all of that. Like the back especially. Totally insane suspension setup on this thing. Everything's custom, LS engine under the hood, and it's beefy. I mean, just huge. When you look at it from the back and the front, you can see just like how massive of a stance this thing has. But now let's go inside of West Hall and you can see some of the stuff inside. All right, so here we are in West Hall. You can see there's people absolutely everywhere out here. And this is where you're gonna find the off-road guys, detail places, wrap companies. Let's walk you through a few of them. Here we are at the 3M booth, and this is Brad DeBerti's C10 Slayer. You can see the supercharged V8 from Chevy sticking out of the hood here, and the interior's done up so nice. And of course, big wing out back and a six-wheeler with live axles, both of them here. You can see that. Six-wheel, four-wheel drive. Totally gnarly car. One of my favorite booths here at the show is the Nissan booth. And here we've got a Nismo Sentra DET. And this one's really cool because it has a manual transmission. You can see it here. You can also see me. Hello. And then over here, we've got the Nismo Z and the Nismo GTR up top. But one of my favorite things is over here in the off-road country. Let's take a look. Nissan's really dipping heavy into the off-road style here with this rally style Z with bigger tires, a lift, and rally lights up front. And then you've got the old school variant over here as well, kind of an homage looking at the paint scheme and whatnot on this. Really, really cool stuff. Cage, spare in the back. Beautiful interior, finished really, really nicely. All the dirt on the tires, and just their whole booth is so unique here. We love to see it. This is also what SEMA is all about, bringing products to life here and bringing awareness to these products. You see a lot of detail products. Here in West Hall, there's a lot of detail products, and all these guys are out here showcasing the best of the best when it comes to their stuff. Rupes, great example, all of their latest pads and whatnot. I use their stuff, it's really good. Not a sponsor, but they do make some very good stuff. And here in West Hall, one of my favorite builds from my friend Harrison. This thing is sick. Of course, old Porsche race car graphics, and it's like all this grime over it as well. That's integrated into the wrap. That's not like actual dirt if it doesn't come across on video like that. The dual purpose rear bumper. You got all this stuff from all of our friends in the industry on this car. Just like a really, really cool build. And of course, this thing was wrecked not too long ago. So it's really cool to see it all put back together, kind of like the revival. And a twin turbo V8 under the hood of this one as well. So this thing definitely gets up and goes. This is the Inozatec booth here. You can see their sign up in the air, spinning around, and they've got my favorite booth of SEMA. This is the third year in a row that I have had this opinion of mine. They have the coolest cars, and they always bring out the best of the best. Like this is a collaborative effort between Playboy and Anozatech. This color, all these cars are wrapped. Everything that we're seeing in here, this is what they do. PPF wrap everything that you see here. So this color being very close to Lamborghini's Diablo 30th, I believe, 30 SE color. This purple looks really, really good on the car, just like it fits the 90s rad aesthetic. And look at these Workmeister wheels, the 5-spoke wheels. Really, really cool 3-piece design. And just the way these things look from the rear is always my favorite. And then right next to it, you've got this LMP car. This is a race car. I mean, really high strung out V8 under the back here. Lots of aero. You can see all throughout it. Double gurney flaps, all the good stuff. Right next to it here is Alex Choi's McLaren 720S with a one-off body kit. This is totally custom. Apparently Alex has been designing this body kit for a number of years now, and it looks just so killer. Like, look at how far that lip extends. You got the wing here, huge carbon deck, the exhaust sticking up through here, massive diffuser. Look at the wheels, and the body kit flows to the front to these massive front haunches, hosting the rotiform aero discs up front. Big old canards on the sides, a completely reworked front end. Looks more like a McLaren Senna from this angle. Just a really, really cool car in general, and cool to see it here at Anozatech. And again, dynamic PPF, not really a wrap, but more of a colored paint protection film. Really like industry leading stuff on this car. And now I'm sure a couple of you are probably familiar with this car. This is the DDE car, Daily Driven Exotics. This is a Lamborghini Super Trofeo that has been transformed into a street car, a GT car, mind you. Full carbon fiber body. You can see all the crazy aerodynamics all the way around this thing, and a very minimalist interior with little to no creature comforts inside, but still streetable, allegedly. It's got plates, so I guess so. Really cool car. Here at the Steck booth, this car, the Porsche Dakar, the off-road rally style Porsche, really cool car here. You can see somebody wrote their name on this car through all the dirt and everything, and this is like actual dirt. People are like, oh no, this thing doesn't see any time off-road. Well, it definitely did. And somebody decided to write their name on the car, and they are permabanned from SEMA, as they should be. Here's the general off-road section. Kind of put us in the middle here so you could get a view of just how big this show is. And this is just one hall. There's multiple halls here, and the West Hall is, I would consider it to be about like the second biggest hall, I believe. Central Hall is the biggest, but they got all kinds of stuff for trucks, SUVs, doesn't matter what it is, they've got it. The lighting people are over here, the case people are over there, the accessory guys are all around us. Just everywhere you look in this hall, there's a bunch of off-road stuff. Here we are in North Hall, and this is going to be more of your vendors like eBay, Amazon, Walmart, big box brands here, as well as some of the startups that you see from up here. Let's walk around really quick and showcase just a couple. Excellent example here. We've got coating here, car care here, coating, car care, and car care all around us here. North Hall is really full of more vendors and less cars, but that doesn't mean that you won't find really cool stuff like this here, like this KTM Crossbow GT2. Now in the back of North Hall here, we have this SEMA's Battle of the Builders. This is where some of the coolest builds from across the automotive industry are showcased here. Some really unique stuff, really cool stuff like this here. Engine bay on this is one of my favorites, with the shaved and tucked bay, the firewall, paint matched covers, everything on this right here, thumbs up from me. Typically not my style, but definitely well executed, have to say. Also, not to mention, this place is busy constantly. Take a look around. This FD RX-7 with a twin turbocharged LS engine under the hood, or rather sticking through the no hood on this one. The paint, absolutely immaculate. It's got a deep level of flake to it here. You can see the fuel cell round back and little touches like this with all the pinstriping and the battery box. Like, this was just done so well. You can barely see the taillights through here, but it's all this like tinted, paint matched, everything on this. Really nice drag pack setup on the back. Just good stuff in general here. This is one of my favorite cars of the show. I would have to say probably somewhere in the top 20 if I had to guess. Just a really, really cool car overall. Also want to say quick shout out to Horizon Brands and also to Jackery for being so cool with us. And then last thing here in the North Hall is this Integra JDM right-hand drive. You see all this right here, carbon fiber front end. Really, really cool. And look at the design of the carbon on the front splitter here as well. Work wheels, of course. And then my favorite thing has to be the paint on this thing. Look at the glitter, everything. Reminds me of a lowrider. And you can see the back, air suspension, the brace bars, and the mats. Everything looks so good. Here's a quick look at the build sheet on that thing. You can pause to read it. But yeah, super, super cool build to see here in the North Hall. Let's go to Central. In between North and Central Hall here is this. This is Bisimoto's Porsche. It's all electric. It's so cool. Take a look at all the sponsors on this thing. But yes, a wide body Porsche. It's got these beautiful Brixton forged wheels. Big old wide body on it. Tons of vents, aerodynamics. It's an absolutely insane build from these guys. Just one of a kind. You don't really see stuff like this, and it's totally a wild car and really puts into perspective the caliber of cars that you'll find here at SEMA. Here we are in Central Hall, and you guys can see there's a lot going on here. So let's walk you through it. This thing is called the Poriero, and it is a Porsche Boxster that has had the roof chopped off and is just something out of science fiction. It looks like something from the Jetsons, really. And then the paint, beautiful blue color here. And take a look at the wheels. They're these turbines that remind me a whole lot of the Spiker C8 wheels from the factory there. And awesome lighting on this one too. They did a really good job with this car. It's completely custom and totally wild. Here we are at the DNA motoring booth, and as you can see, it is packed over here. Everybody and their brother wants to see what they got here. This is Richard Rawlings' Gas Monkey Garage Creative Bespoke Combo 812, and that's one of the coolest cars I've seen here at the show. Very expensive build, sitting right next to this. This was in the pit and paddock area here last year. It's a McLaren P1, really beautiful hypercar finished in this gorgeous, gorgeous wrap from Inozatec. Again, you'll be seeing a lot of them here at SEMA. And speaking of Inozatec, this is Greg from Inozatec's car. This is his RWB wide body Porsche 911 finished in his latest PPF color. This is actually a tinted PPF on this one. It's this light green. It's mostly like a silver or dark gray color. Just beautiful car overall, and very well executed on those really nice BBS wheels. These are like a bucket list wheel for me personally. I love this car to death. This is one of the wildest cars here in Central Hall. Matter of fact, in all of SEMA. One of my absolute favorite builds. These guys from Popos did an amazing job with this car, made it look like a lowrider. This is an air system, not a hydraulic system, but everything is engraved and custom painted. Really, really nice work. And there's airbrush art all over this car, on Vogues, spokes, all the metal turning in the paint. Like, this is a complete lowrider build on a Tesla, and everything on this car is just to the nines. Absolutely perfect all the way throughout. And get this, the trunk setup is equally as impressive. A total Focal stereo system in this thing too. It sounds incredible, just trust me on that. This is one wild build. I'm very glad to document it here at SEMA. And it's builds like this as to why I love SEMA, because it's a Rolls Royce, old school, with a supercharged LT4 under the hood of this one here. Totally wild. And the rest of it just looks so nice, so clean. Total sleeper. This is the definition of a sleeper build. You would never know. This is one of my favorite cars at SEMA. This is no ordinary Porsche 911. This is a Gunther Works 911. And if we get close to the paint here, you can see it's not paint. This entire car is carbon fiber. The guys at Gunther Works, really good guys, went to the rooftop party with them last year, super fun times. Build these wild, incredible builds from scratch with this beautiful carbon, and the purple accents on this one are really, really nice. Even the interiors are just this beautiful, bespoke pattern, really beautiful stuff. And around back, a 4-liter 6-cylinder engine making wads of horsepower. I mean, like tons of horsepower. So lots of horsepower, low weight, beautiful craftsmanship. What more could you want? Might as well walk through Central Hall here and you can see just how busy this is. People everywhere you look. It's very hard to get in edgewise on any of these builds without people everywhere just swarming those things. But really, really cool stuff all around. Turn 14, they always have some really cool builds. And then over here, the Rockstar Energy car, the Jeep, cool build. Cool build of a Z over here. Just cool builds everywhere you look. Just really good stuff. The Traxxas booth is always really, really cool too. They've got all of these RC stunt cars and all the cool stuff. All the latest tech, everything through here. Really fun to look at. And you can also drive them over here as well. They've got some going up this off-road course here. Cool stuff. Now, when you walk into the middle part of Central Hall, you're first greeted by Toyota and Lexus with these massive, massive booths. This is where Ford used to have their booth a few years ago, but since they've dropped off and Toyota Lexus has taken their place. Liqui-Moly, shout out Charles, what's up? This year, Liqui-Moly actually has some imports here. We've got the Fast and Furious cars, R34, and the Supra. Last year was, I believe it was an RWB car that was in here, but it's really refreshing to see some really cool JDM stuff here as well. Also, I gotta point out, it's an R34, but it's not a GTR. No, it's a GTT. I love the upfrontedness of that. AMS Performance here, bringing out the new Z. These guys are well known for tuning GTRs to well into the quadruple digit horsepower. And here they've got their latest kit equipped on their Z. Beautiful car, and it's also got the old school stripes down the side, the iconic red, black, and silver Nissan stripes on that. Really great combo. All their stuff, man, they've just got some good stuff. I gotta say, I really like what they do. This right here is my friend Autry's Supra, and he said he would never go bags, but here we are in the airlift air suspension booth, and this thing is laid out on the ground. Of course, this is a wild wide body kit on this. Look at the flaps here over the back haunches, just insane looking, and this huge chassis mount wing out back too. Really just an over-the-top super build, but it's so clean. I love it. And the HREs tie everything together. Man, this is one of a kind. I dig it. Now here's one that everybody should know, the DeLorean Motor Car Company. And this is their latest and greatest supercharged V6. This is the GTO from DeLorean. Custom upholstered interior, bigger wheels that are very much factory looking, and of course the stainless body all the way around. Good stuff from DeLorean. The last thing I'm going to feature here in Central Hall here is the African American Automotive Association booth, and they have some of the greatest cars here and a wonderful selection. And then here in the middle, they've got it opened up right now, is the Razor Tachyon Speed. It is an all-electric supercar. You see, the thing looks like the Batmobile. And over here, we've got the gold-plated Ferrari. It's so cool. And the exposed engine out back. And then Hertz Twerk Stallion. This is a FC RX-7 with a V8 under the hood and a very funny license plate and beautiful fitment. All of this, plus Lamborghini Trofeo, beautiful Supra recreation from Fast and the Furious, and another donk over there. There's the man himself. Really cool booth. Now let's go check out the Toyo Tread Pass real fast. So they've started rollout here at the Toyo Tread Pass with all these amazing cars, all these amazing builds. You can hear and see all these cool cars. This is like the coolest place to be here at SEMA. That's gonna wrap it up. I hope you guys enjoyed the sights and sounds of SEMA, and we'll see you in the next one. Later. Little added bonus for you guys. This is rollout, so all of the cars are getting out of here. We got the staff here directing all the stuff. This is the world's fastest street car, 310 miles an hour. You can hear the sound, V8s rumbling around. And everybody putting up their booths. Lots and lots of fun here.